Despia now finally supports Apple AppClips, and this is part of our mission of extending what your application can do without even having to be opened by the user, right? We have done this with widgets where people can access data from outside of the application. We've done it with shortcuts where people can, trigger workflows and go to specific pages in your application without having to open it. And now we're releasing AppClips, which essentially allow your users to access features of your application, like doing something with Apple Pay, logging in with Apple, or all kinds of cool things without having to download your application. So they can just scan an AppClip QR code, or they can just scan an NFC tag, or they can go to a specific link and it automatically launches the AppClip with those smart banners here. And they're pretty cool. Let's say you run a coffee shop and you want people to have a very cool ordering experience without having to go in line. They can scan a QR code on the wall, on the counter, wherever, to launch an AppClip to do that. And then you could set it up in a specific way where there is a fallback for Android and all kinds of things. But it's pretty cool what you can do with it. So you see you got those AppClips that, kind of like let you rent a scooter and pay for it. And they do also come with native functionalities, like you can run Apple Pay in them if you are renting out scooters. For example, you have a scooter renting out business, or you're renting out a yacht or something like this. They could go to a counter and do this manually, or they could scan an AppClip and you can automate that process. They can pay with Apple Pay, one click in it, through Stripe or whatever. You don't have to pay 30% to Apple if you do this for a service or a physical good, or for like renting something. And you have a nice, native, pretty cool experience. Now, they also then prompt the user to download the full app if they want the real deal, but it's a pretty cool thing to get people into the door. So today I want to show you how simple it is to set this up in Despia if you already have a Despia application set up. So let's get right started with the process. Now, first of all, you already want to have a Despia project set up, because the AppClip will be attached to your core application. Now, downloading the core application is not needed for your users to have the AppClip active, but you need to have the main app registered with Apple, and then you can add an AppClip on top of that. So that's kind of like how the registration process works to make it seamless for you. So once you already have your main application with icon and all those kinds of things, you want to do a few things. You want to go first of all to add-ons here. You want to go to hard-coded add-ons. And what we want to do is we need to go to web app synchronization. We need to enable web app synchronization, which allows app links inside of your application and assigns an associated domain from which later on you can invoke and launch the AppClip if they scan a QR code, for example. And then essentially it will register this associated domain on the URL that your app source comes from. So you want to make sure that your app source in this example here comes from your live application and not like I have in this video here from my branch. So you want to make sure that Despia is connected to your live branch under your custom domain, under your published project, because this is the scope under which the AppClip and all associated domains will be registered to. So you just want to make sure that you have that set up. Now, associated domains are pretty cool because they also allow, if users share a link to your application to their friends and they have the app already installed, they can click on the link and it opens that specific page inside of the application and not Safari, right? So it kind of like bridges the way how we can share links to a native mobile application without having to go to Safari, but they can open that within the native app experience. We need this entitlement to be enabled in order to also launch the AppClip. So the pages that are registered with the AppClip will open in the AppClip. The other one will open inside of the app if it was already installed. So it's pretty cool. And if they don't have it installed, it'll open it in Safari. So you do have a full hybrid ecosystem set up if you get started with Despia. So just enable that setting. That's all you need. And then we need to enable the AppClip. So we want to go to targets, and I already have it enabled here. So let's just disable it so we can do it together. Now, if you go on targets, you will see that there is an AppClip target. You want to enable this target, and then you will need to go to the AppClip editor to link your AppClip with the page or domain where you want to host your AppClip. So let's open the AppClip editor. And as you can see, I already have it linked with my AppClip page where I want to run this AppClip. So I have a project here where I just have created an AppClip page in any hosting tool or any web builder or any framework of your choice. You can use WeWeb for this, you can use Vue.js for this, you could use Wist and Webflow or Nordcraft if you want. It doesn't matter where you do it, as long as you're running JavaScript and you have it hosted on your public domain, on your main branch, you should be all fine. So I have a little sample application AppClip set up here. I would just open this, copy this URL, and then go back into the Despia AppClip editor, go to app start URL, and I would paste this right inside of here, right? And the cool thing about the AppClip is you can do a bunch of native things with it. I could, for example, just have it be set up with example.com. If you're testing, if you don't have a page yet, you can just do example.com. And you will see then that you can test the AppClip on example.com. But I already have something, and I definitely suggest setting something up on your own server is always a nice way how to do that. So there you go. So we already have that nicely set up right inside of here. So we have app start URL, and we have that AppClip going. So there you go. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to save this change. And as you can see, if I open the AppClip editor, you will see that it opens the AppClip inside of here in the preview. Now, sometimes if you're using WeWeb and you have like localization enabled and you have some kind of redirects or gated pages, this preview may not work, but don't be discouraged by that. It will still work in the AppClip and in your live application. It's just we are rendering this and simulating this in the browser, so there are always some limitations on what we can do with that. But there you go. So now let's save this here. And now that we have this AppClip nicely set up, we can build and publish our application. So let's click on Publish App, and we're going to publish our application. And now it's building the application with our AppClip, and then we'll be able to test this. Now, I already have something prepared for you, so we don't have to wait 20 minutes for this application to be built. So let me just go here on my phone, and I want to show you how this looks in TestFlight. If we go to TestFlight and go on our app, you see we can update the main application, but if we scroll down, we also see that we have this AppClip in here. So I can update and install the AppClip from TestFlight, and then I can open it and test it. And as you can see, I got my AppClip right inside of here that I can test. And you can test Apple Pay in it, you can test login with Apple, you can do really cool things with it. You don't have access to all the native Despia functionalities in it because the AppClip technically is a PWA that is launched with Apple's native mechanism. So the AppClip essentially has been Apple's attempt to more or less centralize PWAs within their own ecosystem. So they have all the guardrails on what you can do and what you can't do with it. Because with PWAs, it's out of Apple's control. AppClips essentially are PWAs, just launched through a native app and in a native manner. So Apple has some restrictions on what you can do with them and not, and some of the restrictions are that you don't have access to most native SDKs as if you would not have if you were building a PWA. So if you want to have access to all native functionalities, don't use an AppClip, use Despia. But the beautiful thing is the core Despia, the core application. The nice thing is with Despia, you can have both. You can have a real native app with all the native features, contact access, widgets, whatever you want. And then on top of that, for people ordering coffee in your coffee shop with Apple Pay, you can have an AppClip. Now we need to generate an AppClip experience to get a QR code so people can scan that. We need to link it with our domain and host a site association file to launch the AppClip and the AppClip experience. Now this really depends on the framework that you're using to host and build that AppClip and your application. So we're going to make more videos on that. We're going to make a second part where we set up the experience together. And then once we have that experience set up, there will be another part for all kinds of frameworks, WeWeb, Nordcraft, whatever, and how you set that site association file up with those tools so you can test it. But there you go, you have your AppClip here. There are more parts coming to this video, and your testers can already test the AppClip directly from TestFlight. And that's how simple you can build an AppClip with Despia. It's super simple, very convenient. I would highly suggest you to give it a try. And this is, again, we're now one step closer to offering the whole native Apple ecosystem in Despia's framework and in Despia's beautiful low-code editor. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for your trust in Despia. We're here working day and night to make sure that you get all the native features as soon as possible. Take care, and thank you for using Despia, and I can't wait to see all of the exciting app clips that you'll be building with it, and we'll keep more videos about this exciting topic coming your way. Take care. Bye.